Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Crime Centric. This being a show where I talk about crime dramas that I watch. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of Ray Donovan. A very good episode of Ray Donovan where we have Ray helping Mickey with trying to get the whole horseshoe thing back. And as expected, things didn't turn out well. It's like you'd expect. Mickey messed everything up again. It's just like he can't sit still. He can't just leave things to other people. Things would always work out better if he just left it up to Ray, but it's like he's incapable of just leaving it up to Ray. I guess he doesn't trust him enough. But I mean, in itself, this was an amazing episode of us really getting to see him and Mickey bond. I mean, like, there's even a moment in the van where him and Mickey are talking. They're actually laughing. They're talking about Bunchy. The fact is, like, he has has a kid, and the fact is that when Bunchy was a baby, how he used to just laugh at everything, a fart, door closing, just everything. And they're sitting there laughing. It's just because for Mickey, he even looks at Ray at one point. Ray's kind of like, what's wrong? What are you looking at me for? It's like he's out there kind of smiling because he's legitimately happy because he's able to spend time with Ray. He even refers to Ray as his favorite near the end of the episode, and I truly, like, it's pretty obvious to see that. It's because out of any of his kids he wants to be the closest with, it's Ray, because Ray out of anyone hates him the most. And so it's just, it's so interesting to see that side of them in this episode. There's always been that moment where it seems like Ray always wants to keep his distance from his dad, yet even when his dad messes up so much, things would be so much simpler if he did just end up killing his dad. I'm not advocating him doing that, but I'm saying, like, for him, things would be simpler. But the fact of the matter is that he doesn't. Granted, yes, he did. He did try to have his dad killed. I mean, he couldn't do it himself, but he tried to get Sully to do it, which they referenced in this episode. I really like they brought that back. It's just like, because basically it was like, oh, when's the last time you visit your mom and your sister's grave? It's like, the whole Sully situation. It's like, when you try to have me killed, he's like, yep, huh. Bet you wish you still had wish that $2 million was on the table, don't you? Even with all their dysfunction, like, Ray still cares about him on some level. Mainly, you think he kind of does it for the rest of the family because they'd be sad, especially Connor and Bridget, about him just up and disappearing. Others would too. Bunchy and Daryl. I mean, I don't know about Daryl because Daryl's kind of at the point where he's kind of like, yo, forget Mickey. He screwed us over too many times. Remember, he's the one that called Ray last episode and warned him, yo, Mickey's back in town looking for some help with some stuff. So, but I really liked it because we also kind of saw, like, Mickey a little impressed with Ray, I guess. Like, when they finally caught up with the dude, what's his name, Ed, one of the guys that stole the horseshoe. Basically, Mickey's up there, like, punching him and, like, slapping him around a little bit. And before he's about to hit him again, Ray just shoots him in the foot because he's like, yo, I ain't got time for this. So you kind of see a look on Mickey's face. And coinciding with something else he said in this episode, maybe that was also because he saw a little too much of himself in Ray. No matter how much Ray wants to deny it, there's a little bit of his dad. Like, he even talks about, it's like, some of me rubbed off on you, and you might want to be careful that some of that same thing doesn't rub off on Connor. That, that basically, unlike you and me, he has basically a tolerance for forgiveness, or basically it can come back to bite you in the ass. But I was just so fascinated in that, just like that series of events. Just like, but I think, like, on some level, Mickey, I feel like it seemed like he might have been happy, but I think at the same time he was a little sad because it's like, oh, I kind of made my boy a little too much like me. I think out of anybody, he's like, I'd rather my boy be more like his mom than me. I don't know. I could be misconstruing that because I think there will probably always be a part of Mickey that wants Ray to be like him because that way they have more to bond over. It's like, yeah, you are my son, at the end of the day, kind of thing. I don't know. But that whole situation unfolding the way it did, the whole Pinky situation, I feel so bad for Pinky. He's just a dumb idiot that got caught up in something he should never gotten caught up in, something way over his head. And, Ray was trying to calm him down, and he had Mickey doing what he did, like I said, always screwing things up, ended up shooting, and he ended up dropping the lighter, catching himself on fire, and he was holding the gas tank, it exploded, and it's just like, it sucks, because he was going to take the $150,000 that Ray was going to offer him, but he just, like, Mickey just couldn't wait. He was just like, oh, I thought he was going to burn the money, which, I don't know. Pinky was just in a situation where he was just like, I'd rather burn this money than, because it's like, there's a chance, I guess, because in his mind, it's like, there's a chance the moment you take this money, you're going to kill me. But, he was, Ray was trying to speak to him. It's just like, Mickey needs to give Ray more of an opportunity. It's like, Ray does this for a living, talking to people out of their respective situations. And it's like he was doing good until Mickey did that. And then ended up having the guy catch up to him and steal the money back. So it's like, crap. He took pictures of them to make sure it's like, okay, you never come to town again. Because the moment he called that singer lady, the moment he called her, the moment that call went through, I was like, oh, she's going to screw you over, isn't she? Now, I didn't want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, she's going to screw you over because she's pissed at you or something. Like, or she, basically, essentially she was going to do it of her own free will to screw him over. But the moment those security guys like gave her the eye and she was walking away, I was like, no, they're going to force her hand, which they did. They kind of threatened her. But, it came back later on when Ray was like, do you actually believe she'd give up her life for you? Like, legitimately, she was sad while she was on the phone with him. She was crying. You could argue maybe that's just from being threatened, but I think it's also because she didn't want to betray him, because she legitimately did like Mickey. She wanted to kind of start a new life with him, but that's no longer going to be an option. Because, now that that's going down, she's probably going... if she's still alive, I don't think they'd kill her, especially after she helped them. Maybe they did. But the fact of the matter is, like, Mickey tried to call her, but she didn't answer the phone because I think she couldn't bring herself to face him. Even to talk to him. Because talking to him would mean facing him after what she did. So, it's kind of sad because you see him actually heartbroken. Which, I'm sure irritates Ray to no end, because it's like you're sitting here once again. It's kind of like the whole Claudette situation all over again, because you're up here worried about being brokenhearted. Well, because making parallels to the Abby situation, because it's like I had to be there. Me and Terry had to look after Mom while she was sick, bedpans, and having to change her, as she was going through all that. On top of that, having, the whole, Bridget and Bunchy too. More so probably looking out for Bunchy, but Bunchy probably helped too. But it's just like seeing her go through all that, and it's like he's probably scared, because the whole Abby having to go through that, because we found out it's like, nope, it's not just something that's not there. It's like, it's real. And the doctor lady from last episode, the one that Lena connected to, was basically like she agreed with Abby's original doctor, like, you have to do this. And like Abby's still reluctant to get to basically lose her boobs. I don't know why she is. Obviously there could be possibly many reasons. Maybe she feels like, that's part of her, that's part of her body that she's going to have to be giving up. As a female, it's kind of like, if I don't have my boobs, like, you don't feel like maybe you feel like a woman anymore. That's just me throwing conjecture. I don't know. Like, I'm not in the mindset of a lady, so I don't know, but that's how I interpret that. Maybe that's one reason, no one would want to, willingly cut off any part of their bodies. It's like, oh, we're going to have to cut off your balls. It's like, no, I'd rather keep my balls. Like, please don't cut them off. It's kind of just, same circumstance. It's just, you don't want to lose a very interesting part of your body that you're attached to. It's just like, I'm sure she's attached to her boobs, and it's just like, she doesn't want to lose them. But I think also the whole, like, it being a very defined feature of a woman, also losing that makes her feel less of a woman. Maybe she'll also feel like, maybe I'll be less attractive. I won't be, especially in Ray's eyes. Maybe she's afraid that she won't be as sexy in his eyes or something like that. The doctors did say that there was another route to take, but basically saying that if you go that route, things could get worse, and then your options will be limited. So Abby never really gave 100% an answer. She did, it's kind of interesting. We got like that whole like open dialogue between her and Ray. Now, like, there's no secrets hidden. She admitted to him, like, yeah, I've got cancer, Ray. And like, she knows that he's off trying to get the money, trying to fix this whole situation with that lady. So, I don't know. And that in itself is just crazy how things played out that way. It's just, I don't know, like, you feel bad for Abby. It's just like, after everything, that's happened, on top of everything that's just happened in their lives that we've kind of come to know over the series, plus now this, it's just, Abby can't catch a break, dude. And then we had a very surprising element in the episode, Mickey willing to take the fall for the murder that basically the Russian dude is being charged for. Basically, he accepts being like, yo, it was actually me. They dropped the charges on him and he gets out because he knows, like, Ray's got to deal with the backlash from that situation, which at the very beginning, the whole situation was his fault anyway. So he's, this is, after everything he screwed up, that situation plus this whole situation with the money because he contacted the singer lady, they ended up screwing him out of the money. So it's like, this was his way of making up for the situation, trying to do right by Ray, especially considering Ray having to have to do with the whole situation with Abby having cancer. It's just like, he sees all the stuff on Ray's plate and him striving, because it's like, other than like that money, Ray has no other plan on like how to deal with the situation, how to get the Russian out of jail, how to get the lady off his back about this, like to ensure that his family's safe. So he doesn't have any idea. But the fact is, Mickey was willing to turn himself in. So basically, Ray's like, you're good as dead. You go in there. They're going to try and kill you. He's like, I survived the first time I was in prison. He's like, yeah, but things are different now. So it'd be very interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. But it is kind of, you do get those moments from time to time where Mickey does his best trying not to be selfish. He does try to do the right thing. Granted, it does more often than not blow up in his face. Because legitimately, it did seem like he was trying to get that money to start a new life in Boston with the singer. So, and then on the other side of this episode, we also had like some stuff with Bridget. Ended up finding out her and I think his name's Craig, the teacher, ended up breaking up because she finally realized, she was like, oh, I'm not the first student he hooked up with. Basically, she just kind of read the situation when they bumped into another student of his. He's like, oh, she's spreading lies about me. But like Bridget saw them, she's like, you slept with other girls. I wasn't your first. It's not, it's like, it's not something that just happened between, like something special that happened between me and you. It's like, no, they're like, granted, I'm fine with there being other people, because you did have a wife before me, but it's kind of like, the fact of the matter is, sleeping with students, it wasn't just like, oh, we're crossing this boundary because we're in love. It's like, no, you've crossed this boundary with other people. Other people are just, it's just, hooking up with younger girls for you. That's all it is. So that's kind of sad. And because of that, she was reluctant to go back home. I guess because she was kind of afraid that like Abby and Ray wouldn't accept her like back, because it was kind of like an I told you situation, not to get involved with him. But maybe she was scared that like to kind of teach her a lesson, they'd never accept her back or something. Like it took Bunchy talking to her to be like, no, they love you. Just go back home. They'll accept you with open arms. And they will. And they are going to. Abby surely does. It's like, no matter what drama there is, it's like you or the little girl, they're always going to be there for you. And speaking of Bunchy, we had the whole situation with him and Teresa. Teresa hadn't come back, wouldn't stay in contact with him. Then he goes to find her. She's just at her cousin's house sitting like on the couch watching TV. He's just asking all these questions like, why haven't you come back? She's basically like, I just felt like anytime I looked at you and a baby, I wanted to stab both of you. He's like, oh, you're just tired. You don't really mean that. She's like, I do. Basically saying stuff like, I never wanted to be with you, Brennan. I never wanted to have a baby. And it's just like heartbreaking to hear her say that. I'm chalking up to it. I don't know the female anatomy that well, but I think, it happens from time to time when ladies are pregnant, they get depressed afterwards. Probably all those different, your hormones are out of balance and everything, and she's just legitimately depressed. I'm thinking that's what that is. And Bunchy wanted to give her a chance. It's like, oh, just, get some rest, take the baby, spend some time with the baby, all that will disappear. You'll be fine. You're the baby's mom. Don't worry. Things are going to work out. Because Maria needs her mom. So, but at the end of the episode, we see that, like, Maria's dropped off, and it's just like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, I didn't even expect that storyline to take the direction it did, because she was so adamant about being with Bunchy, having a baby, and it's just now you see that side of her. Like I said, it can only be the fact that she's going through postpartum depression. Like, that's what I'm chalking it up to. But it's just because of the fact that she's like, I don't even want to touch my baby, be near her, or even hold her. Like, those are key signs of it. So, I'm slightly familiar with the term and those being signs of it, but once again, I could be completely wrong. So I didn't expect the story to go down that route. And then we have kind of a smaller storyline. We have Hector popping up at the gym, training a little bit, boxing a little bit with Daryl, because Daryl was like, yo, I admire you so much and stuff like that. So, I don't know. There was a part of me that is a little worried because we have Hector having been through what he went through, and then there was Damien there, like a younger kid in his teens. Legitimately, the way he was looking towards him, I was like, you don't think it might go down that route. I don't want to say it, but that's a possibility. Like, I don't know, because I felt like he was looking in Damien's direction. Maybe it's just because he was boxing, and maybe there's that part of him is just like, I got to work this all off, all the stress. He even threw up in a trash can just because probably all the drugs in his system. But I don't know. Well, most likely that was him throwing up from going through withdrawal or whatever. But I don't know. Like, the pessimist side of me wanted to kind of say like, yo, kind of keep Damon away from him type of situation. I know he's never acted upon it, at least that we know of. So, but that is still a possibility for someone having gone through what he's gone through, like that. Him and Bunch have gone through. It's possible for that to translate into them doing the same thing, or maybe it was just him being like, "Yo, I kind of gotta build myself back up." That's also a possibility. Like, I gotta start from the bottom, work on my crap and get myself back up to that position, being the champ again. Push all my BS aside. Maybe that's why he wanted to talk to Ray to talk about, trying to fix himself again, get back, being there, like having Ray be there for him like he was for Ray at the beginning of the season. So, a very good episode, and I'm just so curious to see where everything goes, how everything works out. Will Ray's situation with that lady be completely cleared now? I mean, it also seems like she's also keeping tabs on him, because she had one of her guys follow him when he went with Mickey, because she's like, yo, what are you doing here? Yeah, okay. She's a little worried that you might be trying to run, and Ray's like, I'm not going to run. He's like, okay, make sure you come back to LA tonight so she can be more assured. So I want you to come back to LA so you can tell her straight to her face. So, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like it's going to be a situation where it's like, even when it's all said and done, she's still going to want more from him. So, but we'll just have to wait and see. And there's also the Connor storyline, the whole Avi teaching him how to use a gun, and the fact is he broke into his mom's safe to get a gun. Now I don't even know where that's going to go, because Connor's an idiot. It's like, why trust him? I wish Avi hadn't done that. Obviously, because he was looking online guns and stuff, and it's just like, he's going to shoot somebody. I don't know who it is. I at the very least hope it's a bad guy he ends up shooting and not someone in the family. I hope he doesn't accidentally kill somebody trying to show off. End up shooting himself, for goodness sake. It's just like, oh, that idiot, that freaking idiot. Like, what is he thinking? Why would you do that? You're so stupid, dude. You're so stupid. You're so stupid. That is just the power of being an idiotic teenager. I'm sorry. It's just like, I can already see the disaster that's going to happen. I don't know what exactly is going to happen, but he's going to mess around and end up shooting someone. My money is on the fact is it's going to be someone it's going to be an accident, but I feel like it's going to be someone in a family or something. I just know it. I just know it. So, I hope on everything it's a situation where things get dire, the situation's playing out is bad, and then all of a sudden we have Connor come to the rescue because he's got a gun and he ends up shooting somebody. Or maybe Connor's going to end up screwing over someone in the family, in a sense of oh, crap is going down in the house. Abby or whatever is going to get the gun. It's like, oh crap, the gun's going. Now I'm in deep doo-doo. I feel stupid saying doo-doo. I don't know why I just say shit. I don't know. It's like, we're in deep doo-doo. I can't take myself seriously saying that. I'm sorry. As the moment I said that, I was like, that was stupid. Why didn't I just say shit? Nevertheless, still, I'm just waiting for that to happen. It's like, I was wondering what kind of story they were going to give Connor this season, and just being an idiot, wanting to be quote unquote a gangster like his dad. So, but like I said again, a very good episode. Cannot wait to see where we go next week. But that's really all I want to talk about in this episode. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.